the unexpected refuge in its entirety. In the vast silence of the cosmos, amid swirling galaxies and the quiet hum of distant stars, an unexpected light broke through the endless dark. Xenia, a weary voyager from a far-off world, had been fleeing a cosmic calamity that had torn her home apart. Her vessel, once a sleek craft of shimmering energies, had been battered by the violent forces of a collapsing nebula. Now, with her craft crippled and her hope waning, she drifted toward an unknown planet, a tiny blue sphere suspended in space, teeming with life. As Xenia's damaged ship pierced the atmosphere, the world below revealed itself to be one of stark contrasts. Rugged terrains interspersed with patches of verdant fields and quiet hamlets. The craft shuddered violently during re-entry, its fragile hull ablaze with intense heat, until finally it crash-landed in the barren outskirts of a remote settlement. The impact sent ripples across the landscape, stirring dust and leaves alike. In the moments after the crash, Xenia emerged from the wreckage. Her form, unlike any human shape, was graceful and ethereal. Her skin shimmered with hues that defied simple description, and her eyes held the melancholy of ancient starlight. Though injured and disoriented, she carried within her a quiet determination, a resolve to survive and, if possible, to offer something extraordinary to the beings of this new world. Meanwhile, in a small settlement not far from the crash site, Ronan, a young human explorer with an insatiable curiosity for the unknown, went about his daily routine. Ronan was known among his people for his adventurous spirit and kind heart. He spent his days roaming the rugged outskirts, mapping unexplored lands and seeking stories that lay hidden beneath the surface of everyday life. On this particular day, a strange glow on the horizon and the distant echo of a tremendous crash drew him away from his familiar paths. As Ronan neared the site of the crash, the air grew thick with an unfamiliar energy. He found himself at the edge of a clearing, where twisted metal and shattered remnants of a once-proud craft lay scattered among the rocks and dust. Amidst this chaos, he noticed a figure, slender, luminous, and unlike any human he had ever seen, crawling from the wreckage. The figure's movements were cautious, almost hesitant, as if every step was weighed down by both pain and uncertainty. Ronan approached slowly, his mind buzzing with questions and an inexplicable sense of compassion. "Hello," he called softly, his voice trembling with both wonder and concern. The creature turned, and though no words were exchanged, a deep, unspoken communication passed between them, a meeting of souls from different worlds. The alien, who would later be known as Xenia by those who came to know her, regarded Ronan with eyes that held the sorrow of distant stars and the resilience of galaxies reborn. In that silent moment, amidst the ruin of her ship and the desolation of a barren landscape, Xenia sensed a flicker of hope. Ronan's presence was a promise of shelter, of kindness in a world that had yet to understand her. With great effort, Xenia managed to rise, her movements slow but deliberate. Ronan, ever gentle in his approach, extended a hand, an offering of trust. Despite the language barrier, a mutual understanding blossomed. Here, in this quiet meeting on an unfamiliar planet, two beings from worlds apart had found a moment of solace in each other's presence. Ronan led Xenia toward the settlement, where humble dwellings of earthen walls and thatched roofs stood as silent witnesses to the simple lives of its inhabitants. Among these people was Brisa, an elder with deep lines etched into her face, and a wisdom born of years spent watching over the community. When Brisa saw the stranger arriving with Ronan, she immediately sensed that something extraordinary was unfolding, a moment that would forever alter the tapestry of their small world. Brisa greeted Xenia with cautious warmth. "We have seen many things in our time," she murmured, her voice soft and inviting. "Sometimes the universe brings us guests whose stories are woven with the threads of fate." Her words, though simple, carried the weight of ancient lore and a deep-seated belief that every arrival was significant. As Xenia was led into the settlement, she struggled to find her footing, both physically and emotionally. The injuries sustained during the crash were but one burden: the loss of her home, the chaos of her escape, and the uncertainty of this new world all pressed upon her. Yet, in the kindness of Ronan and the gentle acceptance of Brisa, she felt the first stirrings of trust. For the first time in what felt like eons, Xenia dared to hope that she might find shelter, not just for her broken body, but for her wounded spirit. That evening, as the settlement gathered around modest fires and shared their meager meals, Ronan introduced Xenia to his neighbors. Whispers spread through the crowd, a mixture of awe and trepidation at the sight of someone so clearly not of their world. But in the flickering light, Xenia's soft smile and the kindness in her eyes slowly melted away the initial fear. She listened intently as the villagers spoke of their daily struggles and dreams, her own heart resonating with the universal desire for connection and understanding. In the quiet hours of the night, while many slept beneath the vast expanse of starlit sky, Xenia found a moment of solitude. Sitting on a smooth rock outside the settlement, she gazed upward, recalling the brilliant nebulae and swirling cosmic wonders of her distant home. Though she missed the familiarity of her own stars, a quiet determination took root in her heart. She vowed that, even in this strange and foreign land, she would not only seek shelter but would one day offer something that transcended the boundaries of human imagination, a gift born of a cosmic legacy and tempered by the warmth of her newfound compassion. As the night deepened, Ronan remained awake in a small hut nearby, his thoughts consumed by the mysterious visitor. He scribbled notes in a weathered journal, his mind racing with ideas about the universe, fate, and the infinite possibilities that lay ahead. Little did he know that the encounter with Xenia was only the beginning of a journey that would challenge everything he had ever known about life, love, and the very nature of existence. In that first night of uneasy rest and tender hope, the stage was set for an extraordinary saga, a tale of interstellar sorrow and human resilience, of alien wonder and the simple, profound acts of kindness that bridge the gap between worlds. Xenia's arrival had sparked a quiet revolution in the hearts of those who dared to dream of a future where differences were not barriers, but the very essence of beauty and strength. Thus, beneath the endless canopy of a night sky both familiar and strange, the unexpected refuge of a weary voyager promised to unfold into a story that would forever change the lives of those who encountered her. And in the silent communion between Xenia and her newfound human friends, a spark was lit, a spark that would grow into a flame capable of illuminating the darkest corners of the universe. The miraculous offering of our saga. In the days that followed Xenia's safe arrival in the humble settlement, the quiet nights gave way to a delicate routine of healing and quiet curiosity. The alien voyager, still bearing the soft luminescence of distant galaxies upon her skin, had grown increasingly attached to the gentle rhythms of this earthbound community. Though her arrival had stirred wonder and trepidation, the people of the settlement had embraced her with cautious warmth. Among them, the kindly elder Brisa had tended to Xenia's wounds, and Ronan's quiet presence had often accompanied her during the long walks along the starlit fields. Yet as Xenia recovered, a deeper part of her being stirred, a longing to share not only her story but also a gift that had been carried within her from a time and a place far beyond human ken. One cool evening, when the sky was a tapestry of deep indigo and shimmering silver, Xenia gathered her strength. She had spent many cycles in solitude, meditating beneath the soft glow of the settlement's lanterns and remembering her lost home among swirling nebulae and endless starlight. In those silent moments, a vision had come to her, a vision of an intricate object, radiant with a light that seemed to pulse with the heartbeat of the cosmos itself. This vision was not merely a memory of her past, but a promise of what could be, a gift meant to bridge the gap between her world and this new home. With gentle determination, Xenia resolved that it was time to reveal this mysterious gift, not as a token of repayment for the shelter she had received, but as a symbol of the universal ties that bound all beings, regardless of origin. She had long safeguarded this secret within the core of her being, feeling that its time would come when the hearts of those around her were ready to receive its wonder. To ensure the gift, unveiling would be met with the reverence and careful thought it deserved, Xenia chose a gathering beneath the soft boughs of an ancient oak that stood at the edge of the settlement. Its sprawling branches had witnessed generations of simple joys and quiet sorrows, and it provided a natural sanctuary where stories were shared and bonds were forged. The community, curious and hopeful, slowly gathered around Xenia as twilight deepened into a cool, reflective night. Standing beneath the vast expanse of the starry dome, Xenia spoke in a voice that resonated with gentle power. "I have carried with me a gift that transcends the boundaries of worlds, a token of light and memory from my own journey through the cosmos. This gift, I believe, holds a meaning that is both ancient and eternal, a message of unity that echoes in the quiet spaces between our hearts." As she spoke, two figures emerged from the softly lit crowd. One was Marcel, a wise mystic whose eyes had seen much beyond the fleeting surface of mortal life. Marcel was known in the settlement for his deep connection to the subtle energies that wove through the natural world. He often meditated by the river, and listened intently to the rustle of leaves and the murmur of the wind. His presence exuded calm assurance, and his mind was attuned to the mysteries that often defied human logic. Beside him stood Tyro, a former soldier whose battle-scarred visage and measured gait betrayed years of hardship and loss. Tyro had learned to guard his heart fiercely, his experiences in conflict instilling in him a wary skepticism toward anything that could unsettle the fragile balance of his world. With a slow, deliberate motion, Xenia produced a small, intricately carved object from a pouch that hung at her side. The object was unlike anything the humans had ever seen. It appeared to be crafted from a material that shimmered with an inner luminescence, a soft, pulsating glow that shifted in hue as though reflecting the ever-changing tapestry of distant galaxies. Delicate filigree patterns, reminiscent of both organic growth and cosmic constellations, adorned its surface, and a gentle hum of energy seemed to emanate from its very core. The crowd fell silent, the only sound being the quiet rustle of leaves and the occasional whisper of the wind. Marcel's eyes widened with a mixture of awe and quiet understanding as he stepped forward. He reached out with trembling hands, as if drawn by an irresistible gravitational pull, and murmured, "This is no mere trinket. It is a relic of the universe's untold wonders, a key to memories and mysteries that predate our understanding of time." Tyro, however, remained at a measured distance. His eyes narrowed as he examined the object with a hardened gaze. Years of conflict had taught him to be cautious, to question that which could not be easily explained. "Xenia," Tyro said in a low, measured tone, "what is the true nature of this gift? I cannot help but wonder if there is danger hidden within its beauty. Sometimes things that shine so brightly carry shadows beneath them." Xenia regarded Tyro with empathy, her eyes softening as she replied, "I understand your caution, Tyro. This gift is not a weapon, nor is it meant to deceive. It is an offering, a message from the cosmos meant to remind us that every soul, whether human or alien, is connected by the same pulse of existence. In my journey, I have seen worlds where conflict and beauty coexist, where the light of understanding can dispel even the deepest of shadows." Marcel gently took the object from Xenia's hands, cradling it as though it were a delicate embryo of cosmic truth. He closed his eyes, allowing the object's energy to wash over him. For several long moments, the mystic's face was a mask of quiet rapture, as if he were peering into the vast depths of creation itself. When he finally opened his eyes, they shone with a clarity that belied his years, and he spoke in a tone that was both reverent and profound. "This artifact resonates with the music of the spheres, the echo of creation and the subtle cadence of time. It speaks to the shared essence of all life, reminding us that even in our differences, we are bound by the same unyielding force." The words of Marcel seemed to calm the gathering, even reaching the guarded heart of Tyro, whose expression softened ever so slightly. Yet the ex-soldier's lingering doubts did not vanish entirely. He circled slowly around the group, his eyes never leaving the mysterious gift. "How do we know that this gift does not harbor a power that could unbalance our lives?" he pressed, his voice a blend of skepticism and genuine concern. "What assurances do we have that this offering will only bring unity and not turmoil?" Xenia's response was measured and sincere. "Tyro, every gift carries with it a risk, but the beauty of it is that it offers us a choice, an opportunity to embrace the unknown with trust or to remain locked in the safety of what is already known. My gift is not meant to force a destiny upon you. It is a mirror reflecting what lies within each of us. Only by opening our hearts can we truly know what wonder awaits beyond our fears." The night deepened, and the gathered community listened in rapt silence as Marcel continued to explore the artifact's energy. He gently traced his fingers along the intricate patterns, each touch causing the object's glow to shift in a mesmerizing dance of colors. "It is as though this object contains the very essence of hope and memory," Marcel whispered, his voice barely audible above the soft sigh of the night wind. "In its light, I see visions of ancient worlds and unborn futures, a tapestry woven with the threads of countless lives." As Marcel spoke, the object pulsed once more, a quiet, rhythmic beating that seemed to echo the heartbeat of the universe. The soft glow spread outward, caressing the faces of the onlookers and igniting in their eyes a spark of wonder. Even Tyro, whose skepticism had been deeply rooted, could not help but feel a flicker of something akin to awe, though tempered by caution. After what felt like an eternity of silent communion with the artifact, Marcel slowly handed it back to Xenia. "The gift you have offered is a bridge, a way for us to see beyond the confines of our immediate world and to touch something universal," he said, his voice imbued with both hope and solemnity. It invites us to consider that our differences are not barriers, but pathways to a deeper understanding of the cosmic dance we all participate in. Tyro, still watching from the fringes, finally stepped forward. His voice, though gruff, now carried a hint of humility. "I may not fully grasp the wonders that Marcel describes," he admitted, "but I see that this gift has stirred something within each of us. Perhaps there is merit in exploring its mystery further, so long as we remain vigilant and mindful of the consequences." Xenia's eyes glistened with quiet relief and gratitude at Tyro's measured concession. She nodded gently, acknowledging the ex-soldier's hard-earned wisdom. "The gift is a reminder that growth and transformation always carry an element of risk," she said softly. "But if we dare to embrace the unknown with open hearts, we may find that the bonds we forge are stronger than any fear that might hold us back." The gathering slowly dispersed into the gentle embrace of the night, each person lost in their own reflections of the miraculous offering. Marcel lingered beneath the ancient oak, his mind alight with visions of interwoven destinies and cosmic harmonies. In his solitude, he resolved to study the artifact further, to understand its origins and the secrets it held, secrets that might one day unlock new paths of wisdom for all. Tyro, meanwhile, retreated to the modest quarters he shared with a few other guardians of the settlement. Though his heart remained cautious, the object's radiant pulse had ignited a tentative spark of curiosity within him. He sat in quiet contemplation, his mind revisiting memories of battles fought, and the scars that time could neither heal nor forget. In the interplay of light and shadow that danced across the walls, Tyro wondered if perhaps this mysterious gift was a sign that even the most hardened souls might find a way to reconcile the burdens of the past with the promise of a kinder future. As the cycles passed into the early hours of dawn, the settlement awoke to a new day touched by the extraordinary. The miraculous offering had not only brought a sense of wonder and unity to the community, but it had also opened doors to dialogues about hope, transformation, and the infinite possibilities that lay beyond the familiar. Xenia, ever gentle and resilient, continued to recover from her ordeal with a quiet determination, now buoyed by the knowledge that her journey had touched the hearts of those around her. The mysterious artifact remained a source of fascination and study. Marcel dedicated his days to deciphering its subtle energies, poring over ancient texts, and communing with the natural elements of the land. He believed that the gift was not merely a relic of Xenia's distant past, but a living testament to the interconnectedness of all beings, a cosmic whisper urging the settlement to see beyond the narrow confines of earthly limitations. In time, the miraculous offering became a symbol, a beacon of possibility that transcended the boundaries of species and origin. It reminded the people of the settlement that, even in the face of uncertainty and fear, there was beauty in the act of giving, in the willingness to share one's most profound treasures with those who might not fully understand them at first glance. It was a gentle call to open one's heart to the magic that lay hidden in the everyday, a magic that could transform despair into hope and isolation into community. And so, beneath the vast and unyielding expanse of the cosmos, the legacy of Xenia's gift began to take root. A legacy that would, in time, ripple through the lives of every person in the settlement, an enduring reminder that sometimes the most miraculous offerings come in forms that defy human logic, inviting each of us to step beyond our fears and embrace a future filled with infinite wonder. The merging of hearts. In the gentle days following the unveiling of Xenia's miraculous gift, the settlement slowly began to feel the stirrings of change on a level that transcended mere curiosity. The mysterious artifact, with its ever-shifting glow and cosmic hum, had not only bridged the gap between worlds, but had also served as a catalyst for deeper human connection. While the initial wonder and apprehension gradually gave way to cautious acceptance, unexpected bonds were quietly forming among those who dared to dream beyond the confines of their familiar lives. Ronan, whose inquisitive nature had first drawn him to Xenia on that fateful night near the crash site, found himself spending long hours by the banks of a meandering river that skirted the settlement. There, beneath the soft murmur of flowing water and the watchful gaze of ancient trees, he contemplated the strange energy that the gift had awakened in his heart. He recalled the first time he had seen Xenia emerge from the wreckage, her delicate movements, the soft luminescence of her skin, and the quiet sorrow that lay behind her otherworldly eyes. Those memories now intertwined with the echo of the artifact's pulse, drawing him into a state of introspection he had never known before. Meanwhile, Marcel, the wise mystic whose connection to nature and the unseen had long been the quiet backbone of the community, had taken to studying the artifact in solitude. By day, he meditated in a secluded grove where the gentle light filtered through the leaves, and by night, he recorded his visions and impressions in a weathered journal. Marcel saw in the gift a language beyond words, a language that spoke of the universe's hidden harmonies and the delicate balance between chaos and order. In his dreams, he witnessed images of swirling nebulae, forgotten stars, and the infinite dance of creation, all of which seemed to converge into a single point of radiant unity. He believed that the artifact was not merely an object but a living conduit, a bridge that could lead to an expanded consciousness if only someone could decipher its subtle codes. It was during one such quiet evening that a new presence made itself known in the settlement, a presence that would soon become essential to the unfolding of this extraordinary tale. Desma, an innovative engineer whose mind thrived on unraveling the secrets of technology and nature alike, arrived in the settlement seeking both refuge from a troubled past and inspiration for a future filled with possibility. Desma was known for her relentless curiosity and her ability to see beauty in the interplay of mechanics and natural forms. Her workshop, tucked away near the settlement's modest central square, was a testament to ingenuity, a place where discarded remnants of old machines were repurposed into art and devices that echoed the patterns of the natural world. One crisp morning, as the soft light of dawn caressed the dew-laden fields, Desma found herself drawn to the gathering where Xenia and Marcel were engaged in quiet conversation beneath the ancient oak. The artifact lay on a low stone altar, its gentle hum a constant reminder of the mysteries it contained. Desma's eyes, bright with unspoken questions, surveyed the scene with a blend of skepticism and wonder. She had heard whispers of the strange gift from travelers and local storytellers, but nothing had prepared her for the palpable energy that radiated from the object. "I have never seen anything like this," Desma murmured, stepping forward with cautious excitement. Her voice, soft yet imbued with the passion of discovery, broke the comfortable silence. "Its energy feels alive as if it is calling out to be understood." Marcel smiled gently, his lined face lighting up with the warmth of shared understanding. "Our universe speaks in many voices," he replied in his measured tone, "and sometimes the most subtle of objects holds the secrets of those voices. Perhaps you can help us decipher the language it carries." Intrigued, Desma knelt beside the artifact, her fingers hovering just above its iridescent surface. She could feel the faint vibrations pulsing beneath her touch, vibrations that seemed to sync with her own heartbeat. Carefully, she produced a small device from her satchel, a compact instrument she had designed to measure and record subtle energy fluctuations. As she activated the device, a soft digital hum filled the air, mingling with the artifact's own rhythmic pulse. Ronan, watching from a short distance, felt a deep stirring in his chest. He had always been fascinated by the cosmos and the interconnectedness of all things, but now he witnessed a tangible manifestation of that interconnectedness. In the silent communion between Desma and the artifact, he sensed a merging of hearts, a moment when human ingenuity and alien mystery converged to create something transcendent. He stepped forward, his voice filled with gentle awe. "Desma, do you feel it? It's as if the artifact is revealing a part of itself to you, a part that resonates with every living soul in this place." Desma's eyes sparkled as she studied the readings on her device. "Yes, I do," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "There is a pattern here, a rhythm that aligns with the natural cycles of the earth and, I believe, with the very fabric of time. It is as if the object is not only a relic of Xenia's world, but a repository of universal wisdom." Her words, spoken with both scientific precision and heartfelt wonder, sent ripples of excitement through those gathered around. As the day unfolded, the merging of hearts became more than just a metaphor. Desma, Marcel, and Ronan began to collaborate in a quiet symphony of exploration. Marcel shared his visions and the ancient lore he had accumulated over the years, while Desma meticulously recorded every fluctuation and nuance of the artifact's energy. Ronan, ever the storyteller, documented their discussions and the subtle changes he observed within himself and his fellow settlers. In their shared quest, the boundaries between human and alien, mystic and engineer began to blur, replaced by an emerging unity that defied conventional understanding. The artifact, with its soft, shifting luminescence, became a silent teacher. In its glow, the trio discovered that its energy patterns bore similarities to natural phenomena, the rise and fall of the tide, the whisper of the wind through the trees, and even the rhythmic pulse of life itself. Desma, with her analytical mind, proposed that the object might be a kind of cosmic memory, a repository that recorded not only data but the emotions and experiences of its creators. Marcel, with his deep spiritual insights, believed that the artifact was a manifestation of the universe's collective heart, a reminder that every being, regardless of origin, shared the same underlying pulse of existence. Over the course of several days, as the settlement resumed its daily rhythms, the collaborative efforts of the newly formed trio began to ripple outwards. Neighbors and fellow villagers, initially cautious and reserved, found themselves drawn to the quiet discussions and the palpable sense of hope that radiated from the group. Small gatherings formed in the evenings, where people would sit under the starlit sky and listen as Ronan recounted the journey that had brought Xenia to their doorstep and the miraculous offering that had opened new vistas of possibility. Desma and Marcel would sometimes join these informal sessions, sharing their insights and inviting others to contemplate the mysteries of the cosmos. The effect was transformative. Where once there had been quiet resignation and a sense of isolation, a spark of collective awakening began to kindle. The artifact's influence extended beyond its physical presence. It became a symbol of unity, a tangible reminder that even in a world divided by fear and misunderstanding, the merging of hearts could lead to a brighter, more harmonious future. Desma, whose mind had always raced ahead with technical innovations, now found herself pondering questions of purpose and connection. She started designing devices that could harness the gentle energies of the artifact, devices that might one day help the settlement communicate with the broader cosmos. In the midst of these unfolding changes, Xenia herself watched with quiet gratitude. Though she had once been a stranger, an exile adrift in a foreign land, she now felt herself embraced by a community that was learning to see beyond the surface of differences. The merging of hearts was not limited to the interactions among Desma, Marcel, and Ronan. It was a phenomenon that spread quietly among the villagers, transforming skepticism into wonder and isolation into togetherness. Xenia, who had carried with her the weight of a lost home and unspoken sorrows, found solace in the realization that her journey had not been in vain. The gift she bore from her own cosmic past was fostering connections that transcended time, space, and the boundaries of what it meant to be human. One evening, as the gentle hum of conversation mingled with the soft chirping of crickets in the cool night air, Desma, Marcel, and Ronan gathered once more under the ancient oak. The artifact rested on a smooth, flat stone between them, its glow now subtly pulsing in tune with the rhythm of their collective heartbeat. Desma's latest readings indicated that the object's energy was slowly stabilizing, a sign, she suggested, that it was attuning itself to the shared energies of the community. Marcel closed his eyes and allowed himself to be carried away by the subtle music of the universe, feeling as if he were part of a grand cosmic dance that spanned galaxies and generations. Ronan, whose journal entries had grown increasingly poetic, spoke softly about the transformative power of shared understanding. "We are like threads woven together in the fabric of the universe," he said, his voice filled with both wonder and conviction. "Each of us carries a spark, and when those sparks merge, they create a light that can illuminate even the darkest of places." His words resonated deeply with those present, echoing in the quiet spaces between the rustling leaves and the distant call of a night bird. As the night deepened, the merging of hearts took on a life of its own. The villagers, inspired by the openness and vulnerability of their newfound bonds, began to share their own stories, tales of loss, hope, and the quiet strength that had carried them through years of hardship. In turn, these stories enriched the understanding of the artifact's power, reinforcing the belief that every life was interwoven with the cosmic tapestry of existence. Desma, Marcel, and Ronan listened intently, their own experiences now part of a larger, ever-expanding narrative that transcended the limitations of their individual lives. In the soft glow of that transformative night, it became clear that the merging of hearts was more than a transient phenomenon. It was a profound reminder that when beings of different worlds came together with open minds and sincere hearts, they could create something truly magical, a future in which differences were celebrated as the very essence of beauty and strength. The artifact, once a solitary relic of an alien past, had become a beacon of possibility, its light guiding the settlement toward a horizon filled with promise. As the gathering eventually dispersed into the embrace of the night, Desma remained for a moment longer by the ancient oak, gently tracing her fingers along the smooth surface of the stone where the artifact lay. In that quiet, solitary moment, she felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude for the journey that had led her here. A journey that had taught her that the merging of hearts was not simply an abstract concept, but a living, breathing reality that had the power to reshape lives and rewrite the destiny of an entire community. Thus, in the intermingling of human ingenuity and alien wonder, the settlement discovered that the true gift lay not in the object itself, but in the bonds that were forged in its light. And as the days turned to cycles, and the soft light of the artifact continued to pulse gently in harmony with the hearts of its newfound guardians, the promise of a shared future, one in which every soul was valued and every story held the potential to transform the world, grew ever brighter. The challenge of acceptance. In the quiet heart of the settlement, where the delicate threads of newfound unity were being woven into everyday life, not all hearts embraced the changes that the mysterious gift and the presence of Xenia had inspired. As the days wore on, a growing tension emerged between those enchanted by the promise of a shared cosmic destiny and others who clung tightly to the familiar ways of old. Among the latter was Tylo, a determined traditionalist whose deep-rooted beliefs in the established order painted every experience in shades of caution and resistance. Tylo had long been known in the settlement as a steadfast guardian of tradition. His life had been built on routines passed down from generations, routines that promised stability and safety. The arrival of an alien visitor and the subsequent wonder stirred by her gift challenged everything Tylo held dear. To him, the shifting landscape of beliefs threatened the very identity of his community, a community he had pledged his life to protect. One brisk morning, as the settlement prepared for its daily activities, Tylo stood outside the modest town hall, his eyes fixed on the comings and goings of people who now seemed to speak in hushed, excited tones about the cosmic relic. He watched as Ronan and Desma discussed the latest readings of the artifact, their voices animated with hopeful curiosity. Even Xenia, once a figure of quiet sorrow, now walked among the villagers with a serene assurance that had slowly kindled acceptance in many hearts. But for Tylo, every gentle smile and every eager discussion was a reminder that change was encroaching on a way of life he believed should remain inviolate. That morning, Tylo decided to confront the shifting tide. With firm steps and a determined gaze, he made his way to the gathering point beneath the ancient oak, a natural amphitheater where community meetings were held and where the artifact had first united so many. The oak, its massive branches silhouetted against the soft morning light, bore witness to countless traditions and now to the stirring of new ideas. Yet Tylo's heart was heavy with trepidation as he approached the circle. Ronan, ever the mediator, noticed Tylo's furrowed brow and reserved posture as he stepped into the clearing. Desma, who had spent the previous cycles refining her devices to capture the artifact's energy, glanced up from her portable console. Xenia, radiant despite the scars of her past, sensed the discord in the air. The gentle murmur of conversation subsided as Tylo cleared his throat and began to speak. "Friends," Tylo started in a voice both measured and forceful, "I have listened to these discussions of wonders and cosmic unity with growing concern. Our traditions, handed down by our ancestors, have sustained us through hardships and prosperity alike. Now, I fear that in chasing marvels beyond our understanding, we risk losing the essence of who we are." The words, uttered with a passion born of deep conviction, sent a ripple through the gathering. Some faces turned somber while others exchanged uncertain glances. Ronan stepped forward, his tone calm and conciliatory. "Tylo, we honor our past, but we must also consider the future. The gift we now witness does not seek to erase who we are. It invites us to expand our vision of what our community can be." Yet Tylo was not swayed easily. "Expanding our vision is all well and good," he countered, his eyes narrowing. "But at what cost? The relic, this artifact, and even the presence of Xenia challenge the very foundation of our beliefs. How can we be sure that embracing these changes will not lead us astray? The world beyond our borders is uncertain, and meddling with forces we do not fully understand might bring more harm than good." Xenia, who had silently listened to the exchange, stepped forward. Her voice was soft, yet it carried an otherworldly calm that seemed to momentarily still the air. "Tylo, I come not to undo the ways of your people, but to offer something that has been part of my own journey, a gift born from loss, hope, and the endless cycles of creation. I understand your caution. The unknown is often frightening. But if we never dare to explore beyond what is familiar, then how can we ever grow?" Her words, imbued with the echo of distant stars and the gentle cadence of a long-forgotten lullaby, stirred something within Tylo. For a fleeting moment, the furrow in his brow softened, and his eyes seemed to search for something in Xenia's gentle gaze, a reassurance that perhaps this change did not mean the abandonment of all that was cherished. However, his next words betrayed the lingering uncertainty. "I cannot deny that there is beauty in your story, Xenia, but beauty can be deceiving. When I look at this artifact and the marvel it inspires, I see a challenge to our established ways, a challenge that might unravel the very fabric of our society." Desma, who had been meticulously recording the artifact's energy fluctuations, interjected with a thoughtful tone. "Tylo, sometimes the fabric of a society is not weakened by change, but strengthened by the threads of understanding that weave us together. The relic before us does not replace our traditions. It adds another layer of meaning, another perspective that can coexist with our customs if we allow it." The conversation grew more heated as various members of the community voiced their concerns and hopes. A small group of elders, long-time custodians of local lore, expressed worry that the changes might lead to a loss of identity. Some of the younger villagers, inspired by the merging of ideas, supported Ronan and Desma's view that innovation could enrich tradition rather than destroy it. The clearing became a microcosm of the larger battle between the comfort of what is known and the exhilarating, yet intimidating, promise of what lies beyond. Over the next several days, the community found itself divided. While many embraced the new insights offered by Xenia's gift and the collaborative spirit that had emerged among Ronan, Desma, and Marcel, Tylo's apprehensions took root among a significant faction. Groups of traditionalists gathered in secret, discussing quietly the possible dangers of abandoning time-honored practices. In hushed tones, they recalled the wisdom of their ancestors and the stability it had provided through ages of uncertainty. Tylo, determined to make his voice heard, organized a council meeting specifically for those who felt threatened by these rapid changes. The meeting was held in an old, stone-walled hall that had once hosted the rituals of long-ago generations. The atmosphere was tense, filled with both the reverence for the past and the anxiety of an unknown future. Voices rose, and the air was thick with a mixture of hope, fear, and defiance. "We must remember," Tylo declared, his voice resonating off the ancient walls, "that every generation has its trials. But our forefathers preserved their way of life through steadfast commitment to our customs. If we begin to unravel these bonds now, who will be there to guide us when the winds of change blow too fiercely?" An elder, his face marked by the passage of many winters, responded, "Tylo, I understand your fears, but I also see that the world is not static. We must learn to adapt without losing our essence. Perhaps there is a way to honor our traditions while also welcoming the wonders that this new gift brings." The debate raged on through the night, leaving many with heavy hearts and minds clouded by uncertainty. Meanwhile, Ronan and Desma continued their efforts to integrate the relic's influence into the fabric of daily life. They organized community gatherings where stories of the past were shared alongside visions of a hopeful future. Desma demonstrated how the artifact's energy could be harnessed to create simple devices that eased daily burdens, while Ronan recounted tales of cosmic marvels in a way that resonated with the villagers' own histories and dreams. Xenia, aware of the growing discord, sought to reach out to Tylo personally. One late evening, as the settlement slept under a blanket of quiet stars, Xenia found Tylo standing alone at the edge of the village, his gaze fixed on the silhouette of the ancient oak. With a measured step, she approached him. "Tylo," she said softly, "I see that you carry a great burden in your heart, a longing to preserve what is sacred to you. I ask you, what is it that you fear will be lost if you let this new light shine into your lives?" Tylo's eyes, dark and reflective like a still pond at dusk, regarded Xenia with guarded curiosity. "I fear that in embracing the unknown, we might forfeit the wisdom that has safeguarded our people for generations. Our customs are the very soul of our community. Without them, we risk becoming as transient as the stars themselves." Xenia listened intently, her gaze filled with empathy. The stars, though ever-changing, form constellations that have guided travelers for millennia. They are not lost when they shift. They are reinterpreted, giving rise to new stories and new ways of seeing the world. Your traditions, Tylo, are not chains to be broken, but foundations on which you can build a bridge to tomorrow. For a long moment, Tylo was silent. The gentle cadence of Xenia's words, the sincerity in her tone, and the soft luminescence of her presence began to soften the edges of his fear. "Perhaps," he finally murmured, "there is merit in seeing our past as a living guide rather than a static relic. But I worry, how do we know that this change will honor our legacy rather than erase it?" Xenia's reply was measured and tender. "By embracing both the past and the future, we honor the full spectrum of our existence. Let the wisdom of your ancestors be the light that guides you, and let the promise of tomorrow be the path you follow. The gift I bear is not meant to replace your heritage, but to enrich it, to offer a perspective that unites what seems disparate." The conversation left Tylo with much to ponder. As dawn broke over the horizon, painting the sky with hues of gentle amber and soft lavender, Tylo found himself standing before the ancient oak, a symbol of continuity and resilience. In the crisp morning air, he allowed himself to imagine a future where tradition and innovation could coexist in harmony, a future where the light of a mysterious relic could kindle new hopes without dimming the cherished memories of the past. Back in the settlement, the rift of acceptance remained a challenge that the community would have to navigate together. While many embraced the merging of cosmic wonder and earthly wisdom, Tylo's reservations echoed in quiet meetings and secret gatherings. Yet, even as debate and dissent continued, the efforts of Ronan, Desma, and Xenia to weave the threads of a unified future began to take hold. Slowly, the barriers between those who clung to the old ways and those who dared to dream of a broader horizon started to blur, replaced by tentative dialogues and shared moments of reflection. In the coming cycles, as the artifact's gentle glow continued to infuse daily life with an air of possibility, the community faced its challenge of acceptance with both caution and hope. Tylo's journey, a path marked by struggle, introspection, and the eventual willingness to engage with the unknown, became a quiet testament to the power of empathy and the strength of tradition when it was allowed to evolve rather than wither. Thus, in the midst of uncertainty and heartfelt debates, the challenge of acceptance revealed itself as not merely a conflict of ideas, but as an invitation to each soul in the settlement to reconcile the weight of history with the promise of change. And as the sun rose on a new day, its light gently dispersing the lingering shadows of doubt, the people of the settlement began to see that the path forward was not a choice between what was and what could be, but a delicate, ever-evolving tapestry woven from the threads of both. The convergence of paths. As the settlement continued to navigate the delicate balance between tradition and transformation, the influence of Xenia's gift began to permeate various facets of daily life. The once clear lines dividing the old ways from the new became increasingly blurred, leading to unexpected collaborations and insights. Ronan and Desma, inspired by the artifact's potential, initiated a project to integrate traditional craftsmanship with advanced technology. They envisioned creating tools that honored ancestral designs while incorporating modern efficiencies. This endeavor brought together artisans skilled in age-old techniques and young innovators eager to experiment. The fusion of these perspectives resulted in creations that were both functional and culturally resonant, symbolizing a harmonious blend of past and present. Meanwhile, Tylo, who had remained skeptical of the changes, found himself drawn into this collaborative effort. His expertise in traditional methods was invaluable, and his initial reservations began to wane as he witnessed the respect and care with which the community approached the integration of new ideas. Through late-night discussions and hands-on workshops, Tylo forged bonds with those he had once viewed as proponents of change for change's sake. These interactions illuminated the shared values underlying both traditional and contemporary approaches. Xenia, observing these developments, felt a profound sense of fulfillment. Her initial role as an outsider had evolved into that of a catalyst for unity. She had come to understand that her gift was not merely a tool for technological advancement, but a bridge connecting disparate worlds. Her presence and the artifact's influence had sparked a journey of self-discovery for the settlement, revealing the strength found in diversity and the beauty of collaborative creation. As the seasons shifted, the settlement transformed. The once tangible divide between tradition and innovation became a spectrum of possibilities, each enriching the other. Community gatherings celebrated this evolution, with stories of the past shared alongside visions for the future. The artifact, now integrated into daily life, served as a reminder of the potential for growth when communities embrace change without forsaking their roots. The journey was ongoing, with challenges and debates continuing to shape the path forward. Yet, the settlement stood as a testament to the resilience of its people, a community that had learned to weave together the threads of history and progress into a tapestry uniquely its own.